Wednesday Wonders. Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing Wednesday Wonders, where we share education on things that you may have been wondering about, whether it's some of our amazing Sew City products, or of course those gorgeous Westerly designs, or one of our other designers that we have here in our line, DM Quilting, Sew Biz, Sarah Diddy, and more. They keep on growing because we love education and we love making amazing projects and designs for all of you. So today we're going to have another amazing class for you. One thing that I want you to be aware of is that we've changed our format a little bit and we're giving you the opportunity to win, but we're doing that in a way that gives you a one central location to find the information. So we're going to ask you to go to the actual event details, whether you're coming from us on YouTube or Facebook. In the description or the details of the event, you're going to find some information about maybe learn more about the products that we're talking about today. You're going to have a link there. You're going to have the opportunity to potentially have a special offer on those details. And then we're going to have a little detail on where you can go to win our weekly giveaway. So please check that information out. That's going to be in the links of the description that we're showing right here on the page. Again, this is our Wednesday Wonders event, and then the links in the description are right there in the details, and we encourage you to check that out to learn more. Feel free to ask lots of questions during the actual event today, and we'll address those questions as we can in the comments. And then if you do have any pressing needs, feel free to contact us at info@sewsteady.com or give us a call at 1-800-837-3261. Of course, you're always willing to contact one of our resellers to be able to take advantage of purchasing directly from your local quilt shop, which we highly encourage. And anytime you purchase on our website, you have the opportunity to pick up from a local quilt shop if you live in the United States. If you're outside of the United States, then we do have opportunities for you to find a retailer near you. So we are having an opportunity for you to win today. And that opportunity is actually going to be again on our Facebook page. So you can head on over to our Facebook page where we have our Sew Steady featured list. So at the very top, you'll see our featured posts. And every week you'll have a featured opportunity to be able to get excited about something you can win. So here's our featured opportunity right on the top of our Facebook page right now. Again, that's in our featured section. So you'll scroll down, you'll head over to the featured area, and we're giving away, and then you go ahead and pull that up. You can read all about what that giveaway is, and then you will comment to be able to win that item. We'll be announcing those giveaways on Fridays, and so you'll want to go ahead and check that out in the actual comments, and we'll be sending a post out to the lucky winner as well. So again, please go ahead and take advantage of the opportunity to win right there on our Facebook page. And for all of you YouTube users, non-Facebook users, we'll have some additional opportunities for you to take advantage of again in those comments as well. So thank you for watching our Wednesday Wonders, and we'll look forward to giving you more amazing education as the week progresses. We're talking about our Sew Steady basic tables today. And so what you're seeing in front of you is a size sign, a real life size sign that is showing you every size of basic and Sew Steady table we offer. So you can go from this size, which is our junior table, all the way up to a giant size, which is a 24 by 32 table. And so this is how you would be able to kind of compare what you would be playing on and working on at your sewing machine. So this size sign you can use in a variety of ways. If you're able to go into a store, a lot of our resellers have this set up as an opportunity for you to kind of just touch and feel and understand how big it would be. So you can actually take that sign and you can just put it up next to your machine and see what it would feel like to have that size of table right on that machine. And you can tell that if I were to take this sign and actually compare it to this nice big machine we have here, which is the Janome M7, the junior size table would almost be the same size as that bed of the machine, and so I wouldn't recommend that. And as a customer, I wouldn't be really excited about getting a table that would just barely be a little bigger than the flatbed of my machine. So this is a great way to be able to kind of see and touch and feel and understand what size of table you're going to be getting and how it's going to work with your machine. So going into a store is a great way to be able to really understand that. And most of our stores have this size sign, so I highly encourage you to try that out. But today I'm going to actually walk you through the sizes, and I'm going to walk you through opening up one of these tables, giving you some tips along the way on how to get it out of the box, and then overall how to get it set up. I'm sliding my table out. You'll see that my table is nicely resting on this pad. So we actually secure it this way on a pad because we want to make sure that your table is going to get to you with no damage. And our tables are made of a high quality acrylic, which has a lot of similar characteristics as maybe glass. So it's really important that you do treat them with care. You're not going to be throwing that box around, stepping on it, putting a lot of extra weight on it. And so, again, that's why we package it the way we do. We want to have it really surrounded by corrugate so you don't have any damage when you receive your table. So now that I've pulled the table out and it's resting on the pad, I'm just going to take some scissors and cut that strap. And once I get this open, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the process of kind of pulling this out of this bag here. Again, this is actually our junior size table. So this is that smallest size table that we offer. And I'm going to walk through all of our sizes today. You're going to be able to see each of the sizes that we have. So this is going to be a great table. I would recommend this size of table for a small machine. Maybe it's a machine that that you use for travel. Maybe it's just the machine that was best for you. But this is going to be ideal for a smaller machine. As you can see, the free arm cutout for this machine is pretty short. We're looking at maybe a 6 to 7 inch free arm area that this will cover. And so the Sew City table on our junior table has a metric ruler printed on the underside of it, so you're not going to have a lot of damage when you're using the top. And that's 1 to 12 inches. So you see both the centimeter and the inches on that. And we have that ruler on every one of our basic tables. It comes with 4 adjustable legs, and I'm actually going to show you how you're going to be using these adjustable legs on the next table size that I show you. But I'm going to get you a little bit closer to the sewing machine and just show you what this would be like if I were to put this table on this sewing machine, and why it's really important to kind of take a look at your machine to figure out what your best table size is going to be for what your needs are. Okay, so normally what we would do is we would go ahead and put the legs on this table, and then we would just slide it onto the arm of the machine. But I wanted to show you, because of this size of table, we actually don't really advise anyone to get a junior for this, because what we recommend for any of our Sew City extension tables is about 1.5 inches of space in between the edge of the acrylic and the cutout. And this is barely cutting the mustard. So, and then our goal is to be able to cover a bigger part of the free arm where we can with our tables. And so you can see that this would have very little coverage and give you very little overlap for your bigger flatbed machine. So this is our junior. Sew Steady table. It's going to be ideal for the smaller machines, but it is definitely a great option. And I think the price point on that starts at around $99. So it's a great entry level table to be getting you started. So why Sew Steady Junior table in and your Sew Steady Versa table? And you can see the bag actually does have a bigger inside pocket. So I could store the table inside that extra pocket, secure it in there. And then I have all kinds of extra room to be able to store other items like cutting mats and legs and maybe cutting rulers and so on. So this is a great bag to be able to keep your table protected, stored, and you can travel with it. And of course it comes with a little back strap. So just our Sew Steady Versa bag. And so the size of this bag is a 15 by, I think it's 15 by 20. So it's a smaller bag, but it's a great way to be able to store your items. So that is our Sew Steady Junior table. So the next size up table is the size of the basic large. It's an 18 by 24. It is our best selling table from just a sheer size perspective, but I think it's also a good cost perspective. It's a $129 retail value. That's our current going retail price on it. And so I think it's got a really nice price point for a lot of customers looking for an extension table. So it does come with our leg set. This is a size 5 leg. We actually have over, I think, 8 different sizes of legs to be able to meet all of the machine needs in the market. So we custom make our tables to be able to fit around over 3,000 different machines in the market. That means if you have a Sew Steady table, if you have a sewing machine, we most likely have the cutout for you. We've got the designs that will work on machines that are over 100 years old, including all of the featherweight tables and so on. So this is our Sew Steady large table that's 18 by 24. And then what we have going on here is we're going to go ahead and install this table onto this machine. So in order to do that, I'm going to take my leg and I'm just going to put it up to the edge of that machine. And I'm going to make sure that I have the leg height about 1/4 inch below the top of the bed. And the goal is that I'm going to have this table perfectly level with the bed of my machine or with the free arm of my machine. Now, if you had a standard free arm, you would remove the accessory tray to be able to get this going, to be able to install the table onto the machine. But because this doesn't have an accessory tray, I'm not going to have to remove it. These are pop-on, pop-off legs. And in order to adjust the height on the leveler, you just screw and unscrew. Sometimes they can be a little tight when you get going. You don't need to worry about pulling too hard. It is just a simple screw, and it's able to go ahead and adjust generally pretty easily. So that is how our table's legs work. You never take a screwdriver to our tables because it's just not necessary. And then we're just going to pop these legs onto the table, all 4 corners. And then there is an extra section cup leg, and I'm going to show you how that works too here in a minute. All right, so again, just kind of popping it on, I just kind of do a little wiggle. And then in order to remove it, it's the same process. Just kind of put your hand down. A lot of times you'll rest a hand on the table itself, and then you just kind of wiggle to pop it off. So it's that simple. And again, never ever need to take a screwdriver to the Sew Steady tables. That's what makes these so easy and so great to be able to take to classes and retreats and all that good stuff, because they can break down really small and you're able to go ahead and really, kind of easily assemble them. So now that you've got your table ready, it's just a slide on. But notice how close this is fitting to the free arm. And that's why, when you're getting a Sew Steady table, it's really important to share your make and model of machine, because we want your table to perfectly fit around the free arm of your machine. And you can see that that's what we've got going here. It's just perfectly fitting around the free arm of that machine. So within a 1/16 of an inch, you're not going to have any gaps. You're not going to have anything that's going to keep that table from, or have anything that's going to be able to, kind of get in the way, fall into the cracks, and so on while you're sewing. The goal is that your fabric is going to move freely through that sewing machine area as you're sewing. So when perfectly level is really ideal when you're doing any kind of free motion quilting or you're doing any kind of ruler work, because you want your project to lay flat on top of that machine and be able to flow without having it affect anything. The other really nice thing about our Sew Steady tables is that they do have this beveled front edge. So again, another really important piece is that when you're flowing your fabric up and over, you're able to go ahead and have that bevel, which keeps everything flowing smoothly. And so our Sew Steady basic tables have a beveled front edge on the front part of every single table. Now the sides don't have the bevel. It's really more about how you're flowing into the needle area. So if you find that it isn't perfectly adjusted, maybe there's a spot, maybe right over here where it's a little bit lower, then you can go ahead and do some basic leg adjustments to get the height perfect for around that sewing machine. And I would say not every tabletop is created equal. So you could be maybe on a card table and it's got a little bow in it, and having these adjustable levelers is really ideal to get your table level and be able to have that ideal sewing surface. So this is our basic large table, again, our best-selling size of table. So another thing to be aware of is our goal is that you're going to be sitting with your arms to be able to reach the needle area. It's always going to be between 7 and 9 inches from the front edge of the table. So when you're getting a bigger table, that means the rest of the acrylic, so this is an 18 by 24, 18 inches deep, 24 inches left to right. That means after that 7 to 10, 9 inches, the rest of the acrylic is going to be on the back side of our 24 by 24 in size. All of our tables come in a nice clear bag to keep them protected in shipping. You can keep that bag if you like and keep it stored in there when you're not using it. Now notice the cutout on this one is a little different. This is actually meant for a different machine. I mentioned that we have over 3,000 different cutouts built into that we've created over the last 20 years for tables. So this cutout that you see right here is going to be more for a standard free arm machine. But I'm just going to lay this over the existing table so you can just get an idea of how this would work on the back side. So I'm going to move this machine up slightly to be able to kind of show you how that's going to work. So this is to the top here. All right. And so again, this is our big table. And notice how easy it is to slide on and slide on the tables for the Sew Steady. They just make it so much easier to be able to, get onto your machine. It's really simple. Just slide in, put it there. If you need to maybe move the table because you got to access maybe the bobbin that's up over here on the left, or you can just actually pop the table up to do that really quick. Another really important feature of our tables is that you can see through them, so people can store all of their goodies underneath the table. So that's really ideal. So I'm going to keep this table on, and I'm just going to show you how this works. All right. And let's see here. All right. So our big table, again, we're going to go ahead and slide on, and this is our 24 by 24 in size. So my goal is just to kind of show you, if we were to place this table onto this machine, we would be looking 6 inches more from where this table stops beyond. That's going to hold up your quilt project when you're sewing bigger projects. So if you're doing bigger quilts, if you're doing just larger items, you're going to appreciate having that extra table behind your sewing machine to help hold up your project. So this is our big table. It's the 24 by 24. Now I will say all of our tables are smooth. When they come out of the box, they're going to be smooth tables. But if you are doing free motion quilting, if you're doing ruler work, you are going to want these tables to be slick. And so we actually do sell a polish kit. We highly recommend that is going to make your table slick. It's going to make it so the fabric just flows super smoothly when you have it put onto that Sew Steady table. So that is our polish kit is something that you can purchase separately, and it just comes with a little clear it comes with this tube of polish and then a microfiber cloth. And once you put that onto the table, it's going to really, really have your fabric flowing super, super freely. So that is something that you can get as an aftermarket item. Here is our suction cup leg. All of our tables that are a little bit bigger, like the large, the big, and the giant, come with 1 or 2 suction cup legs. So what you're going to do with the suction cup leg is the suction cup is going to come separate, and you're just going to pop that into the little knob at the top. And then you're going to go ahead and install that. And I recommend installing the suction cup leg at a point where it's going to help you with some extra, just a little bit of extra support. So we usually recommend to put that suction cup leg in front of the needle area. And so I'm just going to go ahead and slide that suction cup leg on right there. I noticed that the height of the leg is actually a little too tall. So I'm just going to screw that in all the way. And then now I have all of that extra support right in front of my sewing machine. Is going to help me in just kind of giving it a little bit of extra, because sometimes if there's a bigger span between the legs, or you're just pressing down on this area a lot when you're doing your projects, you're going to want that extra support so there's no bowing. So the suction cup leg is something where you can choose where you put it. If you decide, no, I want to have a little extra weight, support over here on the left, then you can add it over here on the left. So that's another great feature that all of our basic tables offer. Now this, my friends, this is our biggest bag. This is called our giant bag. And yes, we have a giant table in there. So we showed you earlier all of the sizes of our tables. And all of our sizes go from the junior, which is 11 by 15, to the small, which I haven't shown you yet, which is 18 by 18, to our large, which is 18 by 24, and we just showed you that. And then we actually go up to a big, which is 24 by 24. That's going to hold up some extra fabric in the back. Then we go to this giant. Now the giant table we actually brought to market probably 10 years ago, and it was actually around the time that the big Bernina 830 first was released. We had a whole bunch of requests for custom sized tables that were bigger. So our giant table comes with not 5, not 6, but we actually have 10 legs built into this table to be able to support it. And then along with the suction cup leg. So we've got the legs that are at the front of the table, and then we've got an additional 6 legs at the back of the table. So you get a lot of support with the giant table. So I'm going to pull this out. And again, I just want to show you and compare for you. And again, we have this amazing bag that you can fit your giant table in. So I'm going to compare it for you on the actual machine that we have here. Now, keep in mind, we've got a really big flatbed machine here. So this is going to show you what it would be like if you were to choose a big table to go with a big machine, which a lot of times that's why people want the bigger tables, because they really want to have it to fit their machine perfectly. And when you have a bigger machine, you're probably not going to be taking it to as many classes. You're going to have it more set up in a stationary environment. And so having this size of table for that is really ideal. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of the bag here. And again, we're going to do what we just did, and we're just going to show you what it would be like if we were to just lay this on top of this existing cutout. So with this, you're going to get a whole lot more acrylic, not just around your on the back side of your project, because again, 24 inches, so it's going to give you as much acrylic on the back as the big, but because it's 32 inches left to right, you're getting a lot more ability to hold up projects that are going to be held up on the back side here. So this is 24 inches in depth, because you really don't want it to like be too big for a standard tabletop, but 32 inches left to right. So it's going to hold up really big projects. It comes with 2 cling rulers that are 16 inches in length, so you can put those across the front of the table. And then, like I said, a whole lot of legs, so a lot of support. All of those are the pop-on, pop-off legs. And so this is our giant table. Again, that's the 24 by 32, has all the same great features with the beveled front edge on the table, and then just all being able to see through the table is another really excellent feature. People love using our tables to be able to store all of their projects and so on underneath. And so this is a great way to do that. So this is, again, our So Steady giant table, which is 24 by 32. So now I'm going to spin you over, and I'm going to show you our final basic table. And our final basic table is actually our small table. And what machine would you want a small table for? Look at that, guys. We have a serger set up here. Did you know we make So Steady tables for serger machines? And they're really popular. If you have a serger machine, you will absolutely love having an extension table for that machine, because again, when you're doing bigger projects, it's holding up the space for you. Now, a few of the things to note about a small serger table is that typically you're going to want your serger machine to be really kind of at the front edge of your tabletop surface, because you've got a little bag here that's catching a lot of the scrap as it's serging. And so our extension table, we typically only have maybe 1.5 inches of acrylic that is really in use right here. So I'm going to move you a little bit closer so you can really appreciate this machine setup. So this table has about 1.5 inches of acrylic right here. We have our standard metric ruler here, but because of the size, this is an 18 by 18 table, and we want to be able to wrap around the back side of the bed here. We have a 10-inch metric ruler. It has the beveled front edge to allow fabric to move up, but notice the size of these legs. These are really, really tall legs. Well, that's because the bed of a serger is quite a bit taller. And so when I told you that at the beginning that we had over 7 different sizes of legs, I may be wrong. I think that this is probably like size 9. But again, what you're going to be doing when you get these legs out of the bag is you're going to adjust them to the height of the bed of that machine. So this one, we had to adjust the leveler to be able to fit the height of the machine. And I just go to about 1/4 inch. Now notice that a lot of tables have a nice bevel, or a lot of machines have a nice bevel on the front edge of them. Our tables are meant to be perfectly flat and smooth with the bed of the machine. So if there is a bevel, then our goal is to have your table height at the top of that bevel, not below the bevel. So we'll keep that in mind when you're ordering a machine, or you're trying to understand how the best fit is. That is our design standard. Now, we make custom tables all the time. So if you want a different design standard, if you want your table to sit a little bit below the height of that free arm, you can order it that way. We're happy to work with you on that. It's just that our standard is that it's going to be at the height of the bed of your machine. So this again is our small serger table. You can actually purchase our small table for other types of machines, not just sergers, but it was really created for sergers because our junior table is too small. Our junior table won't actually work on a serger because of the depth of the serger itself. So again, take a look at the depth of this serger here and be able to learn a little bit more about the sizes using the table size sign. So if you have your machine in the store and they have one of these amazing signs, you can go ahead and take this over to that machine and get a really good idea of how this table is going to work in your sewing room. Wow, that was another great class. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget to check the description for an opportunity to win this week, as well as special offers that we have related to our Wednesday Wonders. Again, thank you so much for watching our Wednesday Wonders, and we'll look forward to giving you more amazing education as the week progresses. Check out all the amazing education that we have right here on our Sew Steady